What's up, guys? We got the UFC fights. Still setting myself up here. Um, First fight is going to be Miesha Tate versus Lauren Murphy. And I'm going to go live. I'm going to commentate this one. And then later is going to be Brian Ortega versus Yair Rodriguez, who should be an absolutely great fight. I'm watching the commercials right now. The main card starts at 2 p.m. and it's 2:01, and it takes a little while for them to get going to introduce each fighter and everything. But here we are. I'm here to commentate, and this is exciting. Let me get myself situated a little bit. Got myself a nice pillow. All right. Got myself some nice food going on right here. Bam. All right, 0 viewers. That's good. That's good because I wasn't here. You can't disappoint anybody if there's nobody watching. All righty. Last time I did this, I had a little bit of the UFC playing in the background, and I actually got copyrighted for doing that. So I guess I can't play any audio from the actual UFC fights. Right here, I got some tuna steak and some peas. A nice solid little lunch here. I actually had no idea that the UFC was going to be on at this hour. I was talking to my mom, and I was telling her how I was going to be commentating the UFC fights tonight, and she goes, "Oh yeah, what time is that at?" And I looked at my phone, and I was like, "Oh, it's going on right now." So I did not expect that. Oh, do we have someone watching? One viewer. That's beautiful. That's wild. If you want, throw your name in the chat. Let us know who you are. If you have ESPN, if you have Hulu, then you could watch these fights. It's not a pay-per-view card. It's on regular cable TV. If you have the ESPN app, it should be on ESPN. And right now, I'm watching through my Hulu account because Hulu has the ESPN app within it. This tuna steak is delicious. I seasoned it really good with some red pepper flakes, some onion and garlic powder, and I got some high quality Himalayan sea salt and pepper. And man, is it delicious. You can't get much healthier than this, too. Tuna steak and vegetables. Awesome. So right now they're showing the main event commercial, which is going to be Brian Ortega versus Yair Rodriguez. Oh yeah, that's right. Yair Rodriguez has a crazy knockout against Chan Sung Jun, the Korean zombie. We're in the very last 1 second of the fight. He throws this crazy spinning up elbow thing, and he knocked him out with 1 second to go. It should be a great fight, especially like you saw Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway fight just the other weekend. And man, those guys are really good. And this is just right below that tier. But when Brian Ortega fought Alexander Volkanovski, he really did put him in a lot of danger. Had a really close guillotine attempt, had a really close triangle attempt. And I've always been a big fan of his jiu-jitsu. Right now we got Megan O'Leary talking. I wish I could tell you what she was saying, but if I put the audio on for a second, YouTube copyrights me. I feel like I'm going to do one of those movie theater situations where I eat all of my food before the fights even start. That's okay. All right, it looks like this event is sponsored by the United States Marines. Aha! We're showing Lauren Murphy versus Miesha Tate. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Lauren Murphy. I don't really know who she is as a fighter, but I'm a huge Miesha Tate fan. Probably one of my favorite fights of all time was when Miesha Tate fought Holly Holm. And Holly Holm was beating the crap out of her that whole fight. But there was absolutely no quit in Miesha Tate whatsoever. And she was trying to get her on the ground to use her grappling and her jiu-jitsu. But Holly Holm just kept piecing her up in the standing position. And whew, it was a heck of a fight. Miesha Tate was all bloodied and bruised, and she was just getting destroyed with the superior kickboxing of Holly Holm. And she finds a way to win deep in the 5th round. And man, she really just earned that victory, stayed in the fight the whole time, and came out like a dog and won that. It was awesome to see. And she took a bit of a break for a number of years. She had children. She became a mom. And now she's back fighting. She's got this whole resurgence where I believe this is her 2nd fight back. And they're doing the walkout now. Thank goodness. And interesting, they have Miesha Tate walk out first. I wonder where Lauren Murphy is in the rankings. I think they usually have the lower ranked fighter walk out first. Maybe it's because of her inactivity that she's been ranked lower, because she was out with the kid the whole time. Oh, and she's walking out right now. She's waving to her daughter. Very cute stuff. And Miesha Tate's going to be hard to beat. I have her winning this fight over Lauren Murphy. It should be a great fight. And stay tuned because I'm going to do the commentary for the fight. It takes a little bit of time to, oh, she's kissing her kids, and very cute stuff. If you guys want to watch, you can watch on ESPN, the ESPN app, and I'm watching right now as Hulu has the ESPN application within it. She's giving her husband a kiss. Her coach is a hug and a kiss. And the cut man, I believe his name is That Damn Tate on Instagram. Oh, he's not the cut man who's putting the Vaseline on her eyes. He's the giant black bald guy in the back. But I'm friends with this guy on Instagram. Yeah, Brad Tate. And he's awesome. He's a phenomenal cut man. He seems to be on every UFC event. And he's got quite the personality. Very entertaining. He's been in a couple viral UFC videos where like the fighters are getting like smacked around before the fight, and he's reacting like he can't believe that the fighters are like beating the crap out of, or the coaches rather are beating the crap out of the fighters just to get them amped up and ready to go in the fight. So here comes Lauren Murphy. Whew. I think I need to get some water. We're putting the Vaseline and stuff on Lauren Murphy's face right now. All right. They are walking in the octagon, and sheesh, no offense to Lauren Murphy, but you could tell on her face that she's been in some fights before. All right, the tail of the tape. Lauren Murphy's 38, Miesha Tate's 35. Lauren Murphy's 5'5", Miesha Tate's 5'6", both weighing in at 125, 126 pounds. And Lauren Murphy has the superior reach advantage by 2 inches. So should be interesting. We got Bruce Buffer looking fly in his blue tuxedo. Who does a better job than Bruce Buffer? Nobody. Nobody. I got some coffee right here. I saw this thing today that said hot coffee is for business and iced coffee is for pleasure. And you know what? That made sense to me. It's another gold nugget for you guys. I'm curious what they're saying, but I can't tell you because I got it on mute. Lauren Murphy looking a little bit nervous, looking like she's feeling the pressure of this moment. Miesha Tate is a tough opponent. I put Miesha Tate up against anybody in the female division. Um, and Lauren Murphy's looking like she knows she's in for a tough matchup here. Kevin McDonald, the referee, round one. We're about to begin, guys. Very exciting. They're both eyeing each other down. And the referee says, "Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's fight. Let's go." They shake hands in the middle of the octagon, where they touch gloves, rather. And it looks like both fighters are fighting orthodox here. Oof, nice little overhand right from Lauren Murphy. Miesha Tate's going to be the one in the white compression shirt. And, oh, beautiful little body lock takedown attempt. Shot him for the double leg initially and then used it to get to a clinch to go in for the takedown. But beautifully stuffed and countered by Lauren Murphy. It seems apparent that Miesha Tate wants to make this a grappling match, and Lauren Murphy seems to know that. So Lauren's going to try to make her pay each time that she shoots it. Excuse me. So it seems like they got a pretty good game plan worked out here for Lauren Murphy. Really get Miesha Tate second guessing herself on getting that fight to the ground early and making this an early night. Who knows, though? Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe she just needs to set it up with her hands a little bit better. Ooh, nice little 1-2. More of an overhand right on that 2 from Miesha Tate. Great stuff. You know, I wonder, since I don't have boobs, like what the advantages and disadvantages are of fighting in like that sports bra attire versus that like total compression shirt attire. I don't know. We got 3 minutes and 6 seconds left into the very first round. Miesha Tate trying to keep range with a front kick. It looks like Miesha Tate realizes that this isn't going to be such an easy occurrence just to get Lauren Murphy down immediately. So she wants to fight her a little bit more at her range, where she's keeping her away with some kicks. Oh, and a takedown from Lauren Murphy. This I did not expect. Really great shot attempt here with a back body lock. Almost gets her down and switches to a back body lock. Even brought her to the knees for a second. But Miesha Tate's defense is looking really good here. It looks like Miesha Tate's going to get her elbow position back in front and kind of nullify this backwards body lock from Lauren Murphy. And she does. She gets her a clinch of her own, but Lauren Murphy throws a nice elbow out on the break. You know, this is something that's really been big, majorly big in the recent UFC events, where throwing these elbows off of the clinch is a major part of these fights. Oh, Miesha Tate with a beautiful body lock takedown, but can't seem to control her on the ground long enough for Lauren Murphy to get back up. You know, it's one thing to take someone down, but it's a whole nother thing to be able to hold them down. Those are two separate skills. 1 minute, 30 seconds left in the very first round. Miesha Tate with excellent head position. And man, Lauren Murphy is no slouch here. She seems really well prepared for this fight. With a great game plan. I'm just surprised, too, though, that Lauren Murphy wants to grapple with Miesha Tate. having seen Miesha Tate's great grappling ability back in her fights. Lauren Murphy's got the classic double underhooks to Miesha Tate's double overhooks. Lots of great things here that could happen with double underhooks versus double overhooks. In general, you want to have the inside position, so double underhooks is usually a better position than the double overhooks, but there's different techniques that you could do from both. Miesha Tate had an interesting wrestling clinch there with the head and the elbow. Always interesting to see these like grappling oriented positions in these UFC fights and how she keeps the fight moving. So if there's an element of continuous movement, it's really difficult for the fighters to start to plant their feet and punch. If you keep moving them throughout the clinch, it's very difficult to defend that takedown and stop them from progressing clinch-wise and have yourself be able to throw strikes and punches at the same time. So that concludes round number 1. And we are back to the commercial break. Lots of commercials here. You know, on the ESPN app through Hulu, it just shows the same friggin' like 3 commercials with Tom Brady constantly showing his face in the Man in the Arena thing. And personally, I couldn't care less about Tom Brady's documentary on here. Anyway, guys, if you want to check out my channel, I have a lot of cool information. I'm in the middle of doing a mini seminar series on how to adjust the traditional jiu-jitsu positions for ground and pound. We go over 2 main philosophies in that, guys. One, that how can we possibly punch somebody if we're using our arms to control them in like a side control situation or in a takedown situation? So we're going to control them with our legs and then be able to punch them with our arms. So that's one of the major themes. I'll talk more about that more later on. Round 2 beginning now with Miesha Tate and Lauren Murphy. Miesha Tate takes the center of the octagon. Lauren Murphy's on her bike moving back and forth, side to side. Both fighting in a orthodox stance here. Oof, nice establishment of the jab from Miesha Tate right down the middle. It looks like Lauren Murphy's hands are a little bit on the lower side, and Miesha Tate has a better guard with her hands up, protecting her head. Lauren Murphy's kind of down by her chest area. But also there's a certain dilemma between how high you want to have your hands and how low you want to have your hands in MMA. You want to have your hands high to protect your head against these strikes, but also the lower your hands are, the more you can dig for underhooks and defend the shot. So when someone has a superior wrestling or takedown game or wants to grapple you, and I would believe that would be Miesha Tate's strategy, since she has many submission victories, that Lauren Murphy actually having a lower guard. Ooh, a takedown here from Lauren Murphy. Beautiful double leg. Miesha Tate scooting away to get to the cage. Lauren Murphy looking to tie and wrap up the legs. Very nice. Miesha Tate is standing on her hands to get out and escape here. But in that case, she kind of leaves her head exposed. Lauren Murphy goes to do another body lock, and Miesha Tate looks to counter with a Kimura trap. Now she's looking to separate the hands. Great stuff here from Miesha Tate and Lauren Murphy. You know, who do you give, though, the rounds to? I mean, it looks like Miesha Tate's bleeding from her nose. And hard to say for the judges in this one. A very close fight. And I'm surprised that Lauren Murphy wants to mix in these takedowns here. It looks to me like Lauren Murphy wants to explore the wrestling dimension where she gets her to the ground and stays on top, but she doesn't really want to grapple with Miesha Tate. And Lauren Murphy throwing some excellent strikes here to the head. establishing her jab now. And Miesha Tate shoots in, and she's intercepted with those hands that are nice and low. Very good stuff here, guys. Very good stuff. This might be showing a bit too of ooh, a nice elbow off the break of the clinch here for Lauren Murphy on Miesha Tate's face. And Miesha Tate's whole face is getting bloodied up here. Miesha Tate is no wuss, though. She's no wuss. I've seen her get beaten the fuck up in some of these fights, and she does not care. She will still come marching forward. You know, now seeing the blood on the compression shirt of Miesha Tate, oh, beautiful shot in for a takedown from Lauren Murphy, and beautifully countered with a whizzer from Miesha Tate. Switches to a single leg, and Miesha Tate starts punching her in the middle of the single leg. We got a crazy fight on our hands here, guys. A crazy fight. Beautiful stuff here. Miesha Tate throws her against the cage. But what I was saying was, I don't know how smart of an idea, Miesha Tate looking for the takedown. I don't know how smart of an idea it is for Miesha Tate to wear a white rash guard where it shows all of the blood that's dripping down from her nose and her face in this fight. It's very important to show that I haven't been damaged, and it doesn't look good to the referees if one person's wearing a shirt filled with blood to the judges, rather. It doesn't look good to the judges if one person's wearing a shirt filled with blood and the other one isn't. So it's interesting how that wardrobe change could actually play something in this fight. Oh, and Miesha Tate, a beautiful elbow off of the clinch. As I said, guys, these elbows off the clinch are huge nowadays in the modern meta of MMA. Oh, and some nice knees to the stomach from both parties here. You know, and Miesha Tate looks to drag her to the ground. You know, it's really difficult here. Lauren Murphy seems to have the superior wrestling, and that concludes round number 2. I give that one to Lauren Murphy. Not sure who won round number 1, but round number 2 I have to give to Lauren Murphy, and it doesn't look good. Miesha Tate bleeding from her nose and getting blood everywhere on her shirt. If you guys are listening, throw something to the chat, guys. I'd love to interact with my people over here. And man, great fight so far. 2 tough bitches. One thing that you can never count out, though, is you could never count out Miesha Tate in a fight. Like I said, one of my favorite fights of all time is her versus Holly Holm, where it was 5 rounds. Miesha Tate was getting beaten up every single round, and she comes back at the I think it was the last minute of the fight, and she rear naked chokes Holly Holm. It was such an intense moment. Holly Holm's throwing punches in the air while getting choked completely unconscious from Miesha Tate. And they're doing some replays now. Ooh, a nice shoulder strike from the clinch here from Miesha Tate. And round 3 is beginning right now. No glove touch or anything, all business. Miesha Tate looking like there's some urgency, and Lauren Murphy looking like she wants to build on this lead that she has created. Seems like a great fight right here. I really hope, Miesha Tate wins this fight to show my bias here, but she was such an integral part of the women's division in the past. She had such a dominant display and victory coming back into her last fight. And I would really like to see her make a title run and challenge the top women's MMA fighters of today. And it would also show how much women's MMA has evolved, though, if Lauren Murphy wins this fight, and if Miesha Tate can't get to that topper echelon of the MMA fighters. Miesha Tate shoots in for a beautiful takedown, and Lauren Murphy counters. We have this standard underhook to whizzer control. I tell all of my students that if you want to get better at jiu-jitsu or grappling, or fighting, practice things from an underhook and a overhook, because that's a situation that will constantly happen in the fight. I would not be surprised here, guys, if Lauren Murphy has broken Miesha Tate's nose. She is bleeding profusely, and it looks like Miesha Tate is starting to open her mouth here, which is indicative of having a broken nose where it's completely shut and you cannot breathe out of it. And it looks like Miesha Tate has a bad cut over her left eye here. And she continues to bleed down on that white rash guard. No good. No good. And it really seems that the wrestling of Lauren Murphy is the thing that has her ahead in this fight. Where when Miesha Tate shoots in, Lauren Murphy seems to really make her pay for this shot. Miesha Tate doesn't care. She shoots in anyway. And like I said, oh my gosh, some terrible elbows off the clinch there. Hard to watch, especially with Miesha Tate's face already bloodied, and then a knee to the liver. Ouch. Ouch. The question is, in these clinches, do you put your hand low to defend the leg strikes, to defend the knees? Oh, and another elbow off the clinch. Oh my God, 2 minutes, 17 seconds left into this fight. It's not looking too good for Miesha Tate here. Lauren Murphy putting on a great display of wrestling and striking here. Those elbows off the clinch were nasty. Nasty. It's a great fight, though. 1 minute, 46 seconds. Miesha Tate's kind of unsure of how to solve this puzzle of Lauren Murphy here. And, good for Lauren Murphy. I obviously don't know the judges' scorecards, but I would assume that Lauren Murphy is ahead due to the state of Miesha Tate's face, the takedowns, and the control Lauren Murphy has. A nice clinch here. Forward body lock. Oh, Miesha Tate trips her to the ground. And, on these clinches, you got to decide if you're going to win the pummeling battle with your hands or if you're going to put your hand low to block against those knees. So there's a constant dilemma there going on of, do you want to have, oh my goodness, another hard knee to the body from Lauren Murphy. And then elbow off the clinch again. Great dirty boxing, great clinch work. And Miesha Tate seems to be doing good at this kicking range of being all the way out. Or she has gotten to this point in the fight, but the range of being all the way completely close in a jiu-jitsu kind of range. And Lauren Murphy seems to be doing really well in these intermediary ranges where there's body locks, there's dirty wrestling, there's elbows, and Lauren Murphy is using her wrestling to keep the fight in those middle ranges that are good for her and bad for Miesha Tate, which is really winning her the fight in this case. And that's time. Good fight. Good fight. They both raised their hands in victory. It looks like Lauren Murphy feels she won. Coming up next, the official decision. I don't know. It doesn't look so good for Miesha Tate here. I think Lauren Murphy won that fight, like I was saying, in those middle distances of being able to throw elbows, being able to throw knees off the clinch. And when there was a clinch in the standing position off of the body locking series, Lauren Murphy was able to dominate and dictate where the fight will take place. And that's usually the metric of a superior wrestler, where they could use their wrestling skills to take you down, but they could also use their wrestling skills to not get taken down themselves, and they keep the fight where they want. And that's such an important thing in a fight, to be determined where the fight is fought. And Lauren Murphy's done a great job at determining that in this fight, and that That is what I believe will give her the victory coming up soon over Miesha Tate here. So they're showing a picture here of Chris Weidman. Man, crazy circumstance with Chris Weidman where he broke his leg. I was following his story there. He's got great content on YouTube, and there's even a great conversation he has with Anderson Silva, two guys that freakishly broke their legs in the octagon, and the recovery process and how that has worked and transpired. Lauren Murphy and Miesha Tate, the official decision coming up. They were giving each other a big hug in the middle of the octagon. Lauren Murphy's ranked number 3 in the world, which doesn't surprise me after that great performance. I wonder what the scorecards say. And it seems to be clear in the body language that Lauren Murphy is the winner here of this fight. And yes, she gets her hand raised. Good for her. She seems super happy, super proud. And they both embrace and give each other a giant hug in the middle of the octagon. A lot of respect between these two women, which is always great to see. DC trying to get in on the interview here. But what a great fight. And man, what warriors those women are. I wonder why, too, they are wearing those yellow jackets. They look pretty ugly. Anyway, guys, I will be back for the final 3 fights. Those are the fights that interest me the most, but I am a huge Miesha Tate fan, so I wanted to come on and commentate Miesha Tate versus Lauren Murphy. And congratulations to Lauren Murphy. She earned that victory. She really won that fight and was able to dictate where the fight was fought and beat a really tough opponent. Miesha Tate is no slouch, and you really got to win that fight if you want to win it. There's no coasting to victory, and Lauren Murphy did not coast. And it looks like DC was talking about those elbows off the clinch like I was talking about, and they go to replay it here. Brutal. Brutal. Oh, my goodness. And then Lauren Murphy over the top, hitting that cut open on Miesha Tate's eye. Brutal stuff. Anyway, shout out to both of these two women warriors, and I will catch you guys on the final 3 fights. I'll see you guys soon. Much love. Thanks.